very much.
This is the Four-Man Rush.
Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another podcast of the Four-Man Rush. I'm your host, Timmy V.O, here with Kevin, Larry, and Will, and we're still talking about them Carolina Panthers, and unfortunately, we're still talking about them damn L's. Just let that sink in. Yeah, we're still talking about the males. Yeah. And apparently, we're going to head on up to Lambeau, the frozen tundra, and run up against them Green Bay Packers on Saturday evening. Not Sunday, folks. Saturday evening. Well, you know, we'll see what we can do against a pretty stout playoff team from what people are talking about. Man, they seem to be pretty dangerous. Obviously, they still got Aaron at the helm, and you know, we'll see what's going to go on. I know one thing: we can't have another outing with our pass defense like we just had on Sunday, or Aaron Rodgers is going to have a 7-touchdown game on. We can't. We cannot let that happen again. I tell you. So we'll talk briefly about the Broncos game, and you know, we'll chat a little bit about Coach Rhule's interview. I know he said some interesting things. Just a little chat, and then we'll jump into the Green Bay Packers game and give you guys a heads up on what we can do, not necessarily what we will do, but what we can do to hopefully pull out a W in old Green Bay. It's the NFL, folks. Every game's a new game. Who knows? But right now we're going to talk about this AL real quick. So, now Larry, I know you weren't at the game, and you know, shout out to your family, man. I know you had some things to take care of. So we'll come to you in a minute and give you, you know, you can give us your take on what you think is going to happen at the Green Bay game. But we'll go to you first and see what you think about this that Broncos game, man. Just real quick.
Hey, you know, after watching Fed to catch a little bit of the film and Matt Rhule's interview, I think it's one thing if we lose because we're just not the better team. There's been plenty of cases of that this year, you know, where the team just beat us, and I can live with that. This game was a little bit different, though, because of all the guys not doing their jobs and, you know, assignment breakdowns and not being disciplined and playing within the system. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. You know, I want guys to – I don't want to keep beating ourselves like this. You know, we're already, you know, in a losing streak and having a tough year as is, just digging deeper holes by making mistakes like this and not trusting and playing within the system. You know, that's just unacceptable. And I mean, there's several cases of that. From defensively, guys aren't where they're supposed to be in their coverages. And these aren't complex schemes that they're running either. On that last touchdown, you know, I mean, Justin Burris is your single high safety in a cover 3, and he's biting on the underneath dig route, leaving the middle of the field wide open. So now you don't have your post safety there to guard against the post, and you have a touchdown given up. And that's just one example of that. Or on the final drive, you know, now it comes out that right before the 2-minute warning, instead of, you know, taking your time and finding a good play on 3rd and 8, I think Teddy saw something that he wanted to take advantage of and try to get a play run quickly, and, you know, and wasted it down there because of an incomplete pass. So now we're in a 4th and 8 coming out of the 2-minute warning, and we had plenty of time to, you know, get something together and establish that 2-minute drill, try to work something and get the ball down the field. But, you know, guys just not, you know, playing within the system, trying to do too much. And that's just typical of losing teams. You start pressing and trying to make a play a little bit of hero ball here and there to try to, you know, provide a spark for your team. But at the same time, when you play out of the system, you know, freelance a little bit, do things like that, I just think it kind of makes matters worse. So I think that's just something we got to get corrected going forward. I can tolerate just being beat, you know, where your receiver just can't get open, your offensive lineman is not strong enough to block the guy in front of him, your cornerback's not fast enough to run with the receiver he's covering. You know, those things will just happen as they happen. But, you know, beating ourselves, making mental mistakes. I mean, I didn't even mention the punt return we gave up early in the game because guys aren't in their lanes and being disciplined with their coverage lanes. So that just bothers me. I want to see them be more disciplined. The penalties, man, my God. I mean, we're probably top 5 in the league in penalties this year when we had one even to start our 2-minute drill at the end. So that's just my biggest takeaway. I've already accepted that, this team's just going to struggle to win games because of roster depth and talent. But when you have stuff like this, it's just going to make matters worse. They're going to lose games to teams that we're supposed to beat.
Facts. That punt return, man. God almighty. Kev, go ahead, man.
Yeah, well, for me, one of the favorite places I like to look at when I look at the game is always what's going on in the trenches. And, like I said in the post game, Tim, it's like Groundhog Day, bro. It's just same shit, different day. It really is. I'm trying to find some positives from it. I like the fact that we was able to by committee get 125 yards on 21 carries, that's a 6-yard per carry average. That's a good sign, but gave up 4 sacks for 38 yards. That's the bad sign, of it. It's like with this offensive line, when it's hot or cold, they have a stretch where they'll have a game where they only give up 1 sack or no sacks, and then here come a game where they give up 4 or 5. So, just a mixed bag of results. On the defensive side, we Denver had 30 carries for 96 yards, 3.2 yards average. Looking at their longest runs, 15-yard by Melvin Gordon, 9-yard by Philip Lindsay. That's 24 yards. You take away them 24 yards from that 96, you got 28 carries for 72 yards. I mean, so the run defense is definitely was improving. But on the flip side, where was that pressure? I think the Broncos had like 3 off their starting offensive linemen out, including their all-pro left tackle Bowles. He missed the game, so I figured, oh man, Brian Burns about to, he about to tear new ass. He gonna have a feel that he gonna get to pad his stats today. That simply was not the case. Panthers only had 1 sack and 5 quarterback hits on 27 dropbacks. So
wow.
Again, and we talked about it after the game. We was blitzing, we was coming. So it's not like it was that rushing 3, dropping 8 business. We was Phil Snow was dialing it up, and it was creative, but it for that reason it just didn't produce the type of quarterback pressure results that we want. So at the end of the day, man, you see individual players getting better from a defensive perspective, and with some of the young guys, 7 rookies playing, 4 undrafted free agents. You do notice the improvement and the growth with certain players. Derek Brown's steadily been a force after a slow start. Bravion Roy then came on strong the last several weeks. Util Gross Matos, he's showing sparks here and there. Check him, Obata. I mean, my God, he almost had him a touchdown on the fumble return thanks to the Jeremy Chin's sack fumble. So, you see enough to feel like, we got young pieces there to build towards in this first year of a rebuild. But overall, it's the same thing. Good news, bad news. And when the bad news hits, it's usually what's, the death blow for our opportunities to win the game. So, that's where I'm at with it.
Roger that. Now, Larry, I know you was busy, man. You didn't get to watch the game, man. As you could tell, you didn't miss much.
Well, I kept up with the box score. One thing that stood out to me is we gave up 5 sacks. Then when I go watch some highlights, I noticed Mr. Chris Reed was in the game. So I'm thinking there might be some irony in that. Just missed assignments. Guys aren't communicating well. I did see that from the highlights, but I'm just ready to go to the draft. So if y'all ready to talk about draft, you holla at me.
Now, before we start talking about the Packers game, man, Will, you touched on this a little bit. Coach Rhule, obviously, he had the post game presser, and yesterday and today, had a couple interviews and whatnot. So, if did you guys pick up on that at all, or were you guys able to listen to those or watch those?
Yeah, I already mentioned the one where we talked about that 2-minute drill where we tried to rush the play before the 2-minute warning. So, I already addressed that one. I think he also said some other things that were interesting. I think a lot of the narrative from the media and the fans, especially, has been looking forward to the draft to try to get high enough to get the next QB. Already writing, Teddy off because, they think if we have another QB there that we could potentially have won some of these games in the final drive. And I get it, the media narrative, they have those stats like fourth quarter comebacks and, game-winning drives and quarterback win-loss records. And, and that just kind of shapes how quarterbacks are analyzed by fans in the media. But I think what Matt Rhule said is, he wants to see what Teddy can do when he's properly protected. He wants to see what he can do with a fully healthy offense, getting Christian McCaffrey back in particular, adding maybe some more weapons, maybe, a tight end like Kyle Pitts. Larry speaking about the draft. That's one guy we'll probably have our eye on coming this spring. But how can he function within a fully healthy offense? Now, I'm not saying that, a quarterback's not going to be in play in the next draft, but the point I'm just trying to make is there's multiple ways to build a team. And I could definitely see a scenario where they just continue to try to build around Teddy, considering he has another year on his contract, and trying to give him a fair and proper evaluation, not coming off a shortened COVID offseason with guys he's never played with the newest roster in the league, injuries across the board, and see how he performs, with more stability on that side of the ball. So I thought that was something that was interesting. He said he still seemed, even though he was disappointed in a couple of his decisions late in the game, he still stood by him and says he thinks he could be the franchise quarterback going forward and wants to see him have a chance under better circumstances with, better guys playing better around him. That's one thing I picked up there. What else did he talk about? I think that was the biggest highlight of his interview. I think just talking about the quarterback situation and whatnot. Christian McCaffrey, he said won't play this Saturday against Green Bay.
Right.
Which I don't know why he hasn't been shut down to begin with, but I don't have the 7-year, $62 million contract either.
Yeah, right.
So that's their decision to make. I know CMC isn't going to voluntarily say shut me down. I'm sure he wants to get out there at least 1 or 2 more times this year and get out there with the guys in play. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's see. He talked about the defense as well. There were a lot of blown coverages and missed assignments that we got to get fixed on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
So that's another thing he brought up. So, I know he's probably frustrated, coming. This is his first season, but you put yourself in his shoes. This is what he does. Look at his first year in Temple and Baylor, where he only won but 1 or 2 games. So, see what he does. Just wants to continue to build and help guys get better. And I think one thing he said that stood out as well was these last 3 games aren't tryouts for next year. He wants to put the best guys on the field and go out and try to win them. So we'll see what happens, man. Hell, you don't get this again till August, so just enjoy it while it lasts.
That's right. That's right. Kev. Kevin Avery. Okay, gotcha. Hey, Larry, you have anything to
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna just go to something that my dad taught me coming up. You don't waste food. if he put something on my plate, I had to eat it, or there was going to be consequences. What I mean by that is Teddy Bridgewater is on the books, so use him. You're paying him money, play the man. We're not in a situation where we got a free agent. We can go ahead and get a quarterback and put him on a rookie deal. You go get a quarterback, he's going to be on a rookie deal, but you're still paying Teddy Bridgewater. So he's on the roster. He's on the roster. Use him, man. The one thing I hate, I'm not a capologist, but I hate dead money. I hate having guys on the roster. Like, I love Kawan Short, but he's on the books, and we haven't been able to use him. So at the end of the day, Teddy Bridgewater is on the books. Kevin made the biggest point of all year is if you protect Teddy Bridgewater right, we probably win. Most of these games will be lost by a touchdown or less. I'm just being honest. So
Real talk.
My focus doesn't change. I want to get to the draft. I want to build this offensive line the right way because I think that's where the game starts. And if you look at all our flaws throughout the whole year, when we've been losing games, early on we had red zone trouble. Now you can probably point out to the fact that we don't have a guy with a big catch radius. We don't have a guy that, like a big tight end that's a good red zone target. But early on in the year, that wasn't the issue. The issue was that we couldn't protect our quarterback long enough for him to make the right read. Or we couldn't get guys 2 or 3 yards off the ball so we can get a 2-3 yard gain. How many games came down to us not being able to get 1 inch? So it's like, let's get to the draft. I know you want to teach guys how to win, but Mr. Rhule, I'm patient with you, but honestly, you had your chance early in the year. I want to see the young guys. I know you want to win these games, but me personally, I want to have an understanding of what I already have. So when it comes to me doing my scouting process, I can get a gauge for what we need. I know I'm not on the staff, but as a fan, it's something that I look forward to.
Yeah.
I haven't felt like this, honestly. I would say from like the years of 2009 to 2013. Like, I'm just tired of us coming on this podcast every week talking about we're a bad football team. I'm just it takes a toll on you when you love the game as much as I do. It just takes a toll on you that you got to wake up on Sunday and realize you have a pretty average football team. So I think there's plenty of ways in this draft for us to get better. Everybody knows I'm a trench guy. I'll take 5 tackles. But with that being said, is I don't see it as a deep tackle draft. So if we don't get one of those high picks, we can go ahead and grab Sewell. I want to trade back and try to get other assets. Like, let's address this middle linebacker position we have an issue with. Let's address the secondary. Let's go get some weapons as far as the tight end goes. But just get better. BPA for me. And that's just how I'm feeling right now. I'm not enthused going to watch football on Sundays right now. At the end of the day, I'm a competitor, man. I'm probably the biggest competitor I know personally. I take it hard when we lose. So I've accepted that we can't go play in January. Let's try to get better any way possible.
Word. Kev.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was having a little bit of technical issues
Are
here. Mouse froze up, wouldn't let me click off the mute.
You good, man? Yeah,
Damn, it's bad when your team's so bad your mouse don't want a damn word. Like, man, nobody want to hear that shit.
So did you, Coach Rhule? Did you? No, I'm just going to ask you if you had anything to add about Coach Rhule's interviews.
Really, Will really covered a vast majority of it. What I was doing while I was working through these technical issues and listening to the fellas, just noticing a pattern and the trend. I had mentioned, it's like Groundhog's Day. So I pulled up Rhule's first year at Temple. And when I'm looking at these final scores, it's like I'm looking at deja vu for the first year. I'm looking at a game at Temple. They lost to Houston 22-13. They lost a game 30-29. They lost 26-24. Lost a shootout 59-49. Lost 23-20. Lost 39-36. I mean, it's fuck it. Year 3 is our year. That's just all I got to say. Because, even when he went to Baylor, and they was getting their bats blown out because they had lost all those scholarships after that big scandal and everything. But 7-6 the second year, and then they had the big 11-win season and big bowl game. But Um, I get the fans' impatience and things like that. A lot of fans are not used to knowing what a true rebuild is. It's always a reload.
Mm-hmm.
When you move on from like some of your team's most biggest popular players ever, like we done moved on, like who the hell would ever thought in one off season you would lose a Cam Newton, a Luke Kuechly, and a Greg Olsen?
It has a lot of weight.
That's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
That's man. So we pretty much have stated before the season started that we really didn't have high expectations. We just want to see what what the scheme gonna look like, and will this team play hard, which they are doing, will they compete, which they're doing. This last year's team was giving up blowouts by the third quarter.
Mm.
This team has you literally sitting to the very damn end to figure out what the hell is gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So even though these L's are mounting, and it's frustrating, but it's part of course for what takes place, up under Matt Rhule. So I'm here for it, and I just look forward to just, like Larry was just saying, the opportunity to start evaluating what we can do to get better, to address this team. Like him, I'm a trench guy, and I'm just ready to just build around whatever quarterback is going to be here for the long term. I want us to pick up offensive linemen at whether it's Teddy, PJ Walker, whoever, Lance, Sam Howell, whoever the names is always thrown out there for the Panthers to have as the long-term quarterbacks. Whoever is there, I want the offensive line to be established to where whoever is taking the snaps has confidence they're going to get protected, and the running game is going to be effective because, we're going to push the line of scrimmage back 2 yards so the running back can get 4 or 5. And one last thing to wrap it up, as far as this go, we was talking about, all these close losses. And I know injuries suck, but, think about it. In 3 games, Chris McCaffrey had 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, I'm just sitting here wondering, when I was watching that last series, and when the tackle about Curse, I was like, how much if Chris McCaffrey was run that, what they call it, what is it called, like a Texas route or something, where it's like an option route out the backfield that he just can't be covered, and he just takes off. I'm just sitting here thinking like, damn, I think McCaffrey alone could have won us probably three more games just by himself, just off his, off his ability, So
I can see that. Yeah, yeah, because he draws so much attention from the defense, man. I mean, I think Brady probably calls the game completely different with Christian out there. Who knows? Who knows? He's
since we're on
Man, he's just
Christian,
gonna
that's why I'm not even I don't really support that year 4 mess. Guys got windows. You got a championship window, you got a prime window too. So get better. I know it sounds impatient, but it's really not. Get better as soon as you can, because you got guys on the team that's capable of winning you games right now. So you want to build around them as quickly as possible. So gotta address the offensive line, because it's going to benefit everybody. When we ever had this many weapons? I'm not saying we got the most weapons in the league, but this isn't 2009, 10, 11, 12, where we just had a complete deficiency of talent everywhere.
No.
You actually got bright spots. You got good playmakers, but you can't get them the ball because you can't protect your quarterback. So it's this got to get addressed. And then you got to build through the draft so you can have money to sign those 1 or 2 key pieces that can get you on a championship run. I don't want to just say year 3 and let history repeat itself. I believe in Matt Rhule, but I think that he believes that he has a lot of talent on the roster now. That's why he wants to win these last 3 games. He's not interested in seeing what the bench players looking like. You got talent right now. Go ahead and go ahead and build around that shit right the fuck now. Right now. We competed all year long. It's I know the NFL is tough. It always comes down to a play or two. But for us to be in every single game, it's no reason why we can't take one step forward and start winning some of these games. That's just how I feel.
You gonna say something, Will?
We're just gonna ignore how Kev gonna skip over poor Will Greer about the quarterbacks that we could potentially build around.
Hey, I'm like this. If Matt Rhule can skip over him, why can't I? Because y'all saw how he was asked about Will Greer. And he's like, yeah, I already know what Will Greer's do, but I'm not interested in going that route right now. I mean, that's literally what that man said.
Yeah, he's like, skirt.
Yeah, that was the ultimate curve. So I mean, hey, if Matt Rhule ain't thinking about putting Will Greer on the field, why should I?
Let Will Greer get some tape out there. Maybe he can go get a job somewhere, man. Be fair to him.
I mean, something.
I want to see. I want to see why we had Tyler Larson on the roster for 6 years. Like, show me who we haven't seen. You know what I'm saying? The season is over with. Show me who we haven't seen, so I can go ahead and scout right when it comes to this offseason. The season's over with.
And before the season is completely over, we got to play a couple more games. But technically, it is. Yeah, it's a rehearsal for next year, basically. So we got to run up against Green Bay and old Lambeau. I'm telling you right now, man, that quarterback from Denver had a game like that, man. Oh my God. But you never know, guys. You never know.
We made Drew Lock look like fucking Drew Brees, man. I can't get over that shit.
Like, for real though, he had a Pro Bowl caliber performance.
21 for 27, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns, pass rating of 149.
Yep. So
and he was throwing checkdowns the first 3 quarters. That's what's killing me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But Green Bay got a complete offense, man. It's gonna be interesting. But it all starts with stopping the run and protecting the quarterback for us. So,
hey Tim, I'll go first because I don't even got much to say about this damn game.
Go ahead, man.
Guess how you beat Aaron Rodgers? You keep him off the field.
Keep him off the field.
Guess how you keep him off the field?
We gotta run that football, Larry.
You run the goddamn football. Guess what you need to run the football?
What's that, Larry?
You need an offensive line. Any other way, I would say, you know what? Let's get out here and pound and rock. You know what's crazy? We've seen glimpses of the ability to do that. We ran the ball really well against Minnesota. We ran the ball really well against a few other teams. So we've shown that ability. But that's how you're going to have to beat this Green Bay team, especially up there in the elements. How good can we run the football? And if we don't run the football well, guess what I'm going to say next Tuesday? You know what I'm going to say. The offensive line is trash. So let's hope that these guys strap it up. Let's hope they do some push-ups this week and get ready to push guys off the football. So that's all I got to say about this Green Bay game. Like I told y'all know what I'm waiting for.
Go ahead, Will.
Man, Green Bay Packers are on TV damn near every week, so I'm sure most people that listen to the podcast know what they have and who they are. So I don't have to tell them how good Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and those guys are. So I'm more focused on what I want to see from us this week. And I just want to play, can we play a mistake-free game? I mean, can we finally have a complete 4 quarters of football, offense, defense, special teams, where guys come out, they don't come out lethargic, they come out, play with a high energy level. You're on primetime TV, and you don't even deserve to be. So take advantage of this opportunity. You're in Lambeau Field in the dark, probably going to be snowing. It's going to be a fun game to play, and everybody's going to be watching you and see what you all about. Why are you on TV tonight? So can we come out, play 4 quarters of mistake-free football, everybody do their job, play hard, play to the whistle, no dumb turnovers, limit the penalties. I mean, that's just so frustrating, man. We finally put drives together and we just get set back from delay a game, whether it's a holding, the defensive PI, the dumb hand to the face penalties. I mean, in every which way possible, we getting penalized, and then, so I mean, I just want to see us for once not beat ourselves. If Green Bay just comes out and they're the better football team, which they are, and we just can't match them talent-wise, I accept that. If Devontae Adams is lined up against Troy Pride and beats him in a one-on-one catch situation, I accept that. If Brian Burns can't beat Bakhtari, one of the better left tackles, around the edge, I accept that. Or if Aaron Rodgers is, making a pass that nobody else can make, and everybody's in position in their zone coverage, and he just a better throw beats better coverage, I can live with that. But let's not beat ourselves this week. I just want to see a complete game where everybody comes out, plays hard, does their job, and we'll see how it turns out. Because I think if we do that, it can be a lot like that Chiefs game where we go down to the wire and we can have another opportunity to try to win the game in the fourth quarter. But it's got to start with us. We can't continue to beat ourselves and dig holes, like we've been doing all season long.
Hey, Will, you hit it on the head. We beat ourselves. We've been talented enough to be in these games, but we make mental errors. So that's just my little point on that.
Kevin Avery.
Yeah, well, y'all know from me personally, this is a house divided game for me because my amazing, beautiful daughter is a Green Bay Packer fan, so she already got the dub written in her column and been telling me about it, ever since yesterday. So, she's highly confident in this game, and why wouldn't she? I mean, when you talk about the Green Bay Packers, I mean, it's basically heading to the game with a similar profile looking like when we were going into Kansas City. All these, high numbers on offense. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's got 39 touchdowns. His pass rating right now is 119.7. He needs one more touchdown pass to become the first quarterback in NFL history to have at least 40 seasons, at least 3 seasons with 40 touchdown passes. I mean, just mind-blowing. I mean, we was talking about Devontae Adams. He's got 14 receiving touchdowns. Running back Aaron Jones, he's got 1,100 scrimmage yards with 9 touchdowns. When they get in the red zone, they're scoring touchdowns on 77% of their red zone trips. I mean, it's enough to just really make you just be like, well, damn, But at the end of the day, what happens on the field is totally different. Because I figure a lot of people had us getting our backs blown out of Kansas City heading in, reading these similar type of numbers about Mahomes and who's going to cover Tyreek Hill and, who's going to, cover their running backs and, all this and that. I mean, Green Bay, they good. Is led by the offense, and, they got that linebacker, Zadarius Smith, who's got 10.5 sacks and 11 tackles for losses. So, yeah, somebody got to block it. Yeah. So he making an impact in both the run and the pass. But, they're weak on their weakness is on the back end, and that's where one of our strengths plays in. Not sure how if DJ Moore is going to be available for this game. We already know that McCaffrey's going to be out, but, the opportunity is there for us to apply pressure. Remember, this team last loss was to the Minnesota Vikings, who we played a few weeks ago, and almost once, like I say, you just got to show up.
Yep.
You just got to show up, be like, fuck them stats, we're here to play, and, let's get in that ass. So, I'm like, Will, I just want to see this team play a game where the enemy is not ourselves. Tim, you former military like me, you know all about that friendly fire. Can we avoid it? Can we avoid a Plexico Birds moment where we shoot our damn selves? Let's just go up here Saturday night prime time and let's have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Let's go up there and just make them sweat. Be like, this team 4-9. What the hell are they doing? Down 4 with 3 minutes left in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like who's Carolina? But we do for a win because we haven't won at Green Bay since 2008.
God, man.
Yeah,
we play them almost every year too.
Yeah, hey, look, we that was before Obama got in office. That's going to be 3 presidents ago.
Jesus.
So we long overdue, man. So
let's get this done, man.
Yeah, that would be the ultimate thing, but Green Bay, due to the Saints losing to the Eagles, that opened up the door for them to get that number 1 seed. So I expect them to come out here and treat us like, like we're like we're their biggest enemy, and they're gonna come out and play us hard. We gotta match energy and not beat ourselves, and see where we at with the in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that fourth quarter, man. Hey, Jesus Christ, man! I tell you what, though, if we can get a strong start, man, on offense, I think that'll help Teddy and get a good rhythm, and because it's going to have to be a shootout. Our secondary is not strong enough to hang with Aaron Rodgers, man. We're going to have to rely on that pass rush heavily to get to Aaron, to get him off his. But even he's so good at running and throwing the ball, man. It don't matter. Oh, it doesn't matter.
It really don't, But I was just thinking about it though. You was talking about about just coming out to Aaron Rodgers, like, what you gonna do? The guy is just pretty much mastered everything, man.
I don't know, man. I would say make him one dimensional, but hell, I mean, even that's dangerous. It's Aaron Rodgers.
I think what Larry said is key. I would love for this to be a game where we run the ball at least 30 times.
Yes.
Let's try to slow dance this thing. Let's take it off of disco and put on some slow jams and try to slow dance this thing out. Can we keep them to only 25 minutes of possession? Because
this how we do it, Kev. Give me Greg Little, Chris Reed, Tyler Larson, Dennis Daly, and Trent Scott. We're gonna go out there and ball, boy. Let's run that football.
Don't even think about passing the ball. It's straight up.
Let's put our biggest guys in there and run it 30 times, just like you said, Kev. Give me that lineup right there. Let's go to war.
Straight nosebleed. Man hurts. Straight nosebleed, boy.
Well, that's the equivalent of playing Madden on the rookie level, bro. I don't even do that.
Oh man.
Give me that part I just named. Let's go to war, man. For real. In prime time.
So we got
Aaron
Rodgers. Go ahead, Will.
Too. You watch our pass rush. I mean, we're getting pressures, but you notice quarterbacks are escaping the pocket and buying a lot of time. And that's how we're getting our backs broken on a lot of these third down plays. And I think with Aaron Rodgers, I think that's just more critical than ever. I know against Mahomes, we brought our safety down to kind of spy him. So when you left the pocket, you had the safety to be able to hawk him down and prevent that. But we hadn't been doing that with a lot of these other less mobile quarterbacks, but they've still been getting out of the pocket and being able to make plays. I mean, I think Matt Ryan even made Matt Ryan out there looking like Michael Vick back in the early 2000s. We had Kirk Cousins running all over us. So that's something I want to see get fixed as well. Just being more disciplined in our rush lanes. And if it's not, you're not going to get to the quarterback every time, but you got to finish some of these rushes. The pressure rates and all of that's all cool and all, but when you let the quarterback just get out of the pocket like that, buy time, then you can't cover guys forever, especially with this secondary. So that's something I want to see cleaned up as well, especially this week, man, because if Aaron Rodgers out the pocket with his eyes downfield, you're not going to hold up with these guys, man. So it's we got our work cut out for us, but, we'll see, man. Let's come out and play hard, and let's live with the result.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Will, you're absolutely right about that. As good as Brian Burns has been all year long, if there's anything he can improve on, which I would like to see on Saturday, is his ability to take the right angles. A lot of times you see him outrun the quarterback because he's trying to get that speed rush around the tackle. If he takes a better angle, which I think he's been working on, but I like to see him take much better rush angles, that'll make things more difficult for Aaron Rodgers.
Good point. So that's where it begins, folks. If we're going to beat the Green Bay Packers, we got to slow down. Discount, double check. We got to stop this guy, man. He's a problem. He's a problem. Well, stay tuned, Panther fans. That is Saturday evening at 8:15, I believe, slated.
Yep.
So Oh, yeah, man. Dial in, tune in, folks. You might see a miracle. You never know. You might see old Mike Davis, run for $150 on him. Who knows?
Listen, I'm playing Kevin in the playoffs in fantasy. I do not need that this week.
Ah!
I do not need no 150 from Mike Davis because I know he's starting them, man. So nah.
Ooh.
Put them
Don't
other
need.
go by. Let's do it by committee like we've been doing. Throw all three of them backs out there. Let's try to get it that way.
Kurt Cole going to have about 12 carries.
Yeah, get Curtis some carries, man. Get that dude Smith some carries, bro. I don't want to hear no Mike Davis talk this week, man.
Oh, man.
I owe Kevin some get back. This guy, I played him earlier in the year, and that was the game he decided to put up his highest score of the year. He had like 216 points to get me. So this is get back. And I started off 1-5, and I'm in the playoffs now. So I'm gonna try to keep my momentum rolling. I'm gonna probably beat the brakes off of Kevin this week. So cut that Mike Davis stuff out. All right.
Old fantasy football. I know. I never got into that, man. But I dig it. I dig it. So good luck with that, fellas. Good luck with that. All right, folks. Well, gentlemen, you have any closing remarks? Larry, I think you're at the JOB, Larry.
Actually, I'm not. Half of my team tested positive for COVID, so they got me out.
Cool.
Yeah, I got to get
Cool.
tested tomorrow. So y'all wish me luck.
Yeah, good luck with that shit. Good Lord of mercy. Well, there you go. There's a closing shot for you, folks. Be careful. Stay safe.
Hey, couple shots of Jack, man. Some tea that helped me out.
By any means necessary.
Any means necessary.
Any closing remarks, Will?
Yeah, be on the lookout for us this spring through draft season. We got 3 guys on our team that's trying to put together a template to put out like scouting reports and things like that. So we're going to be much more active this draft season with the content. So be on the lookout for that. We're still trying to agree on a format, a grading system, and things like that. We should have that, full throttle at least by January at the start of the year. So, keep a lookout on for that.
Right on, man. Right on. I forgot about that. Yeah. Stay tuned for that, folks. Woo! What's coming on? Yeah.
Always thank our fans and supporters of the 4-Man Rush. Make sure we tell that on each and every podcast because we mean it and it's true.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys. I have so many people hit me up, be saying they look forward to these podcasts and our lives. Had somebody quote me in the Panthers group earlier today talking about when I made my comment about Groundhog Day. So, so it was refreshing to know that, that our fans look forward to our content. So always we want to thank those that consistently support the 4-Man Rush, even when it's doing a struggling season like this. So outside of that, man, we working on some things behind the scenes, and we're going to put it together. And we just look forward to, like Rhule is rebuilding, we're rebuilding ourselves as well. So making ourselves better, and so that you fans can enjoy, watching us become the top content in social media for Carolina Panthers news.
Believe that. And that's on 100, folks. Believe that. Stay tuned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Panther fans, we appreciate you guys once again. On behalf of Kevin, Larry, and myself and Will and all our other good stuff, we appreciate you guys. Be sure to check out our website, www.the4manrush.com, and also our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, sometimes on TikTok, sometimes not. But anyway, either way, you guys stay safe. Wash your hands. Keep your hands away from your face. 6 feet apart. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And whether you listen to this podcast in the morning, afternoon, or evening, man, we appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. And as always, keep pounding. Damn it. There's ain't room for cake. And that's the click.
Keep pounding.
Keep fucking pounding.
Pound all the way to the damn draft, man.
Yeah.
This shit is dead, boy.
Let's pound a couple old linemen on this damn roster, damn it.
Shit,
Get it right.
my pockets with all this damn Christmas shopping.
Oh, Lord.
But on a real tip, though, you know, they finally
Ooh,
gave
boy, you ain't lying.
some reps, and now you got people thinking that we don't need to go draft a linebacker, so let's go throw Tyler Larson in the mouth.
I'm just taking time to really let it breathe. So baby, just chill. She love it. We out in public and we can just chill with my partners, and we can go back to my crib and just chill out the covers and do we call me and you lovers.
The Four-Man Rush is brought to you by the love and respect of and for the Carolina Panthers and Carolina Panther fans everywhere. Keep pounding. The Four-Man Rush is a non-affiliate of the Carolina Panther organization. All thoughts, assessments, and content of this podcast is directly related to the Four-Man Rush exclusively. Thank you.